Hey kawan, apa kabar? Ya, baguslah. Yeah, I'm at home. Yep, because it's another public holiday today. Why? Because I think it's because Maggie Me launched a new flavor. Yeah, they give public holidays for the weirdest reasons. Yep. So, would you like to go for a hike today? No, it's too hot. What do you mean? It's always the same temperature and weather here in Malaysia. Right, you'd rather spend the day in a shopping mall. All right, well, I'll catch you later then. All right, have a good day. Oh, hey guys, there you are. Well, in today's video, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about unusual habits Malaysians have. Let's go outside and I'll tell you all about it. So somehow my previous video about weird Malaysian habits did really well. More than 160,000 people watched that video. That was really amazing. So if you haven't watched that video yet, click the link up here and watch it later after this video, of course. So I'm from the Netherlands, and every country and culture have their own weird and unusual habits. And yes, the Dutch, we have some very unusual habits as well. But in this video, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the unusual habits Malaysians have. Let's go. So let's start off with a weird food habit here in Malaysia. At least to me, it is rather weird. So Malaysians love eating and they love their breakfast, right? And there's so many really nice, delicious dishes available here. So why do I sometimes see people eating a nice piece of toast with a runny, half-boiled egg next to it? To me, half-boiled eggs are definitely a no-no, but somehow Malaysians think it's delicious. It's definitely a weird Malaysian habit to me. So we all know that Malaysians can have some weird driving skills, right? I've been driving my car here in Malaysia for many years, and I always encounter the same weird Malaysian habit, and it's all to do with indicators. I think that maybe the local cars here don't install indicators or signals anymore because, well, I don't see people using them. So definitely a weird Malaysian habit is to not use the indicator on the road. And very often this can lead to some very dangerous situations. So make sure to use your indicator. Signal lah. Another unusual Malaysian habit, or I think it's more of a funny one, is that on many random nights throughout the year, traffic gets really busy at night. And this is the night before the petrol prices go up. So yeah, once in a while petrol prices go up. So people here tend to queue up for up to an hour and sometimes even 2 hours just to fill up their tank and basically save about 8 ringgit on petrol. I thought that's quite a funny and unusual Malaysian habit. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Please leave a comment and let me know what unusual habit you have encountered in your lifetime. And click that like button because that helps my channel a lot. Alright, thank you. Wow, got accident. Wow. Wow, make sure to get the number. Right, so another unusual Malaysian habit is that whenever people drive here and there's an accident on the road, Malaysian drivers tend to slow down or slam their brakes just to take a picture or to have a look at what's really happening at this accident. And my wife likes to use the word gago, which I think is quite fitting in this situation. And of course, if a car has had an accident, make sure to write down the number because you'll have to go to the 4D shop and buy some tickets. You might win the lottery. Yeah, another weird Malaysian habit is that many Malaysians, I'm not saying that all of them do this, but a lot of Malaysians tend to throw rubbish outside of their car. Whether it's a cup, whether it's a face mask, or whether I've actually seen people throwing actual bags or rubbish bags out of the car. And I also see this in the jungle. I see rubbish at many places, and I just want to advise everyone that watches this video to maybe have a plastic bag in your car or on the trail when you go hiking to put all your rubbish in there, and then at the end of your drive or at the end of your hike, find a dustbin to get rid of this rubbish. It's definitely a bad and weird Malaysian habit to just throw away rubbish at places where it doesn't belong. Another weird Malaysian habit is that somehow queuing up is only for certain people. Many times I've stood in the queue or in the line at a food stall or in a line to pay my bills, and there's always someone walking straight up to the food stall and putting down their order and yeah, just cutting the queue. That's definitely a weird Malaysian habit, and really, what's up with that? So another unusual Malaysian habit is that Malaysians tend to take instructions as suggestions. For example, if there's a big no smoking sign, dilarang merokok, you'd see a person standing underneath and smoking a cigarette like he just don't care. Which I think is rather hilarious, where yeah, Malaysians don't like to be told what to do. The next one is probably one of the most badass, unusual Malaysian habits. Have you ever heard of the story of Moses, who split the sea with his hands and he walked across the seabed? Well, here in Malaysia, their hands are also extremely powerful. This one is the power of the hand. Here in Malaysia, if you want to cross the road, you can go to the traffic light, or you can just hold up your hand and somehow the cars will magically stop. But make sure not to look in the eyes of the driver. Just put up your hand and walk straight across the road. It's another one of these power to the people moments for Malaysians. I've got a couple more, so make sure to watch the video until the end. So the next one is about the weather, because Malaysians tend to love to complain about the weather. Now, I'm from the Netherlands, and the Dutch are infamous for complaining about the weather as well. It's always too much rain in the Netherlands, too much wind. But here in Malaysia, it's either too hot, too humid, too dry, too sunny. Yes, there's always something to complain about. And I think that even if it would snow here in Malaysia, people would still complain about it. And then again, I can relate to this because, yes, like I said, I'm Dutch and we complain a lot about our weather as well. So the next on this list of weird Malaysian habits has something to do with calendars and public holidays. I live in Sarawak, and there are already many public holidays here in this state. But in Malaysia, they tend to create new public holidays for the strangest reasons. I've experienced the government gazetting a public holiday because there were elections, and I've enjoyed a public holiday when Malaysia won a gold medal at the Olympics. Definitely an unusual thing or an unusual habit here in Malaysia. So in my previous video about weird Malaysian habits, I talked about the fact that people would ask you, when you first meet them, they would ask you, "Sudah makan?" Like, have you eaten yet? Which is probably one of the most common questions in Malaysia. Now, if you just met someone, the follow-up question would be, what is your race? And to me, that is a very weird Malaysian habit, because to me it's rather unusual. But here in Malaysia, it is a very common thing to ask someone what their race are. In the Netherlands, for example, it is actually illegal to ask someone what their race is or what their religion is in a job interview. Here in Malaysia, however, this is extremely common. Rather unusual to me. Alright, I've got another one. So, I love exploring the jungles, the rainforest. I love hiking to waterfalls and spending a day on the beach. I just love being outdoors. Malaysians, however, on average, perhaps not so much. Malaysians like to spend their free time in cold concrete buildings called shopping malls. And to me, that is definitely one of the most unusual Malaysian habits that I have encountered here over the past 10 years. Alright, I know that these habits that I call weird or unusual are actually absolutely normal. Every culture is different, every country is different, and every person has different habits. And of course, that's absolutely normal and fine. I think we should all just respect one another. But in this video, I thought it'd be funny to highlight a few of these unusual habits from my point of view that Malaysians have. Now, I've also done a video about weird Dutch habits, so go to my channel and watch that video as well, where I talk about the weirdest Dutch habits. All right, I think that's the end of the video. I would really appreciate if you could leave a comment and tell me what a weird habit is that you have encountered in your life, whether it's a Malaysian habit or a foreign habit that you thought was rather unusual. Now, also click that like button because that really helps my channel to grow, and I would really appreciate it. This is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are amazing. We'll see you again next week. That's it. Bye-bye.